Game over.
Hey, what's up everyone? Daniel here with Modern Physique. So, the assault on Jeff Nippard, well, honestly, it just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. Now, if you haven't seen the coverage yet, recently, fitness influencer Jeff Nippard was assaulted by bodybuilder Wyke. Basically, all over a difference in training mentalities, as in differences in opinion on how you train. The incident that was captured on camera has been released throughout social media and has been causing quite a stir, with a multitude of influencers creating a huge backlash against Wyke. Let's just take a look at some of the comments here. Next video, lifting in prison, what training with convicted felons is like. I can see a future business opportunities for Mike here. He should make commercials for Vaseline and for soap. Science made me do it. Next merch drop. Just here to dislike. Why don't you fight Joey Stack, Tanner, or Eric? Fixing your mistake, start with an apology. Is it your giant ego or your attorney stopping you from doing the right thing here? I assume the next video is going to be on tutorial on how to tank your reputation. That seems to be what you're hinting at with every video. I'm not listening to a middle-aged man with anger issues and no accountability. You have no shame. Came here to ratio the video, but stayed for the comments. A public apology will be big. Wait, wasn't your biggest lifting mistake when you throat punched Jeff? Great video, man. I mean, I didn't watch it. Why would I? But I'm sure glad you uploaded it. That way we could all roast you in the comment section. Watch Jeff post a science-based prison workout here. Three sets of don't drop the soap. I love this one. I bet you wouldn't do that shit with Mike Israel. Mike's views and interactions have quadrupled. Hate really sells. You see, I actually mentioned this in my previous videos, and I had a few comments actually conflicting here, but a lot of people believe that this all really comes down from a deep-rooted jealousy here. Remember, freaking Jeff Nip has over 5 million subscribers on YouTube. Wyke, yeah, he has a decent-sized following, but is nowhere near freaking Jeff Nippard's following. Now, I had comments saying, no, his following was already increasing. He was getting more interactions. Bro, no. He was getting decent amount of views. But ever since this incident skyrocketed, his views have actually quadrupled, or even, he's getting even 5-folds the view now. Which actually proves that even bad publicity is, well, good publicity. And what does he do with this publicity? Well, he unfortunately decides to capitalize on this and announce a brand new line of merch. And what does it say? No content created against me shall prosper. Okay. So instead of taking the opportunity of having more eyeballs on him to actually clarify the situation, apologize, try to dig himself outside of the massive hole that he's dug himself into, he decides to try to make more money off of it by dropping a horrible line of merchandise that honestly just looks horrible. And honestly, I get it. I mean, you were banned from the gym, so you can't really go there and make money anymore. And while you are getting more views now, they're not really people interested in what you have to say. They're not even watching your videos. I mean, they're just there to comment against you, so is it even worth it? It comes to the point where people are even talking about this on Reddit. Let's see some of the opinions of this situation on Reddit. I used to work for Wyke. His true colors are finally coming out. And here we have a story of a person who shared his horrible experience working with Wyke, stating where he was a horrible employee that was constantly being threatened of being fired. Bullies don't phase out of high school, that's for sure. They just grow up to be dickheads with anger issues like Mike. I'm a big fan of bro chat and Fuad, but sticking with my brother thing is just stupid. Mostly tough guys saying Jeff Nips should have started swinging because their brains are as cooked as Mike's is. I'm sorry, but we just don't live in barbaric times anymore where we resolve all our conflicts by hitting each other with big sticks until the other person stops moving. We don't do that anymore. We have laws and rules for a reason. Now, mentioning laws and rules, what are the actual implications and consequences for this assault for Wyke? Well, under the Canada Criminal Code, everyone who commits an assault is guilty of an indictable offense and is liable for imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years, or an offense punishable by summary conviction. And what actually constitutes an assault? Well, a person commits an assault when, without the consent of another person, he applies force intentionally to that other person, directly or indirectly. He attempts or threatens by an act or a gesture to apply force to another person if he has or causes that other person to believe on reasonable grounds that he has present ability to effect his purpose, or while openly wearing or carrying a weapon or an imitation thereof, he accosts or impedes another person or begs. Intentionally applies force to another person without their consent. Let me ask you, does that not sound exactly like what just happened in this situation where Mike Van Wyke walks up to Jeff Nippard and throat chops him twice, and then does the same thing to his 18-year-old cameraman? Does that not sound directly like, by definition, an assault? To be honest here, unless Mike has a really extensive criminal record here, I don't really believe that he's going to go to jail for this. Honestly, I wish that he did, but unless he has pretty big prior convictions or a pretty big record, honestly, most likely he is going to get a really hefty fine, considerably is. But I could also see Jeff Nippard suing Mike Van Wyke for personal damages, for personal injuries that happened in the situation, which could be a lot more costly in the long run here. Now, having that said though, I still believe that Mike Van Wyke should definitely go to jail for his actions. See, the thing is, not only did he commit a blown out assault, not once, not twice, but 3 times, he showed no active remorse whatsoever. There's no active apology. There's no trying to explain what happened. He's fully defending his side of the story, and he's actually committing to that by actually launching new merchandise trying to capitalize on this. So not only do we have 3 instances of the same crime, there's no remorse whatsoever. So what do I believe is going to happen here following next? I don't believe, unfortunately, that Mike Van Wyke is going to get jail time due to this. However, I do believe he's going to get a hefty fine, and I do believe that he should. Jeff Nippard is definitely going to sue him for personal injuries and personal damages. But that's just my take. I'm curious, what do you guys believe? Let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think of this controversy? Who do you think is in the right, and who do you think is in the wrong? And what could we have done differently or what can we do differently as a whole, as in a society, to learn from this and avoid this happening in the future? Like always, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.